Hello, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Michael and I've read your list of questions and I hope to answer them as concisely as possible. Before answering question 1, I believe it is important that we define what cognitive development is. Cognitive development is the construction of thought processes including remembering, problem solving and decision making from childhood through to adolescence and on to adulthood. My research indicates that two of the key cognitive development theorists are Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. Jean Piaget placed great importance on the education of children. He believed a child cannot learn unless they are constantly interacting with their environment, making mistakes, and then learning from them. Piaget believed that childhood plays a vital and active role to the growth of intelligence and that a child learns through doing and actively exploring. He defined children as lone scientists. When he was the director of the International Bureau of Education, he declared in 1934 that only education is capable of saving our society from possible collapse, whether violent or gradual. There are 4 stages of Piaget's cognitive theory. These are sensory-motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational stage. Lev Vygotsky believed that children's thinking is affected by their knowledge of the social community. He defined intelligence as the capacity to learn from instruction. Vygotsky's theory emphasized the fact that there is a requirement for a more knowledgeable other person, or MKO, such as a parent or teacher. The key concepts of Vygotsky's theory were the zone of proximal development, which consisted of 2 levels, level 1 being the present level of development, of what the student already knew, and level 2, the potential level of development, what the student had the capabilities of learning. Vygotsky also had a theory of scaffolding, which was applying different levels of help to help the student improve on their current development, and by offering support similar to scaffolding that's used in buildings. As with cognitive development, with moral development, I'd firstly like to define it before we talk about the theorists. Moral development is a process through which children develop proper attitudes and behavior towards other people in society based on social and cultural norms, rules, and laws. My research into moral development shows that again Jean Piaget was a key theorist, with the other being Lawrence Kohlberg. Both Piaget and Kohlberg assumed that children were reasoning creatures and that reasons, not emotions, were the primary driving force behind moral decision-making. They believe that children develop sophisticated moral judgment systems through interaction with their peers and adults in social environments. Piaget's theory of moral development contains 2 stages, these being heteronomous morality and autonomous morality. Kohlberg's theory was made up of 3 levels, the pre-conventional level, conventional level, and post-conventional level, each level consisting of 2 sub-levels. Question 3 asks why it is important for teachers to have an understanding of cognitive and moral development. The simple answer being that each child is different and has a different level of learning capability. Having an understanding of child development benefits not only the teacher, but the student, as techniques that may have worked today may not necessarily work tomorrow. Knowing and having an understanding of these theories helps within the teaching practice, as having an understanding of a theory such as Vygotsky's scaffolding and zone proximal development helps structure a lesson plan to suit the needs of your students. An example of cognitive development in the classroom is using visual aids such as multiplication table posters or having letters of the alphabet scattered around the classroom for the students to observe during the class time. Another example would be to focus on one level of multiplication at a time. For example, concentrating on the 3 times tables before moving on to the 4s and 5s, etc. An example of the application of moral development in the classroom would be if a student was to observe bullying, and instead of joining in the antagonizing of the bullied student, stepping in and telling the bullies to either stop it themselves or to grab the attention of the teacher to stop it from happening. This not only shows empathy towards the child being bullied, it shows a sense of moral judgment that bullying is wrong and would result in some sort of punishment.